And now we have a major update on the condition of ICE agent Jonathan Ross following the incident on January 7th in which Renee Good was shot and killed. According to a breaking report from CBS News, he suffered internal bleeding to the torso following the incident, according to two U.S. officials briefed on his medical condition. Now, this is shocking because there has been a debate ongoing about whether or not this man was actually even struck by the vehicle. Now, if I have shown extensively in numerous videos, you can see the man's feet, both of his feet sliding backwards. You can hear him make contact with the hood of the car. You can hear him go, whoa, before he shoots her. I think it's plain and simple. He was not grievously injured. This is actually more surprising because I said from the look of it, I bet he wasn't hurt at all. Well, now, according to CBS reporting, internal bleeding. You know what really irks me on this one is that I had been navigating our friend Grok, pulling up information on the incident, looking for more information in my research this morning as I'm producing these shows. And what does it say to me? It says that he was never hit by the car. It said clear analysis by CNN and the New York Times show he was not hit by the car. I kid you not. And so I said to it, yeah, but his feet slide backwards. And you know what Grok actually said? According to commentary from Tim Pool, he suggests, and I'm like, what do you mean suggests? We watch his, I'm pulling it up again. Okay. I'm going to go to my accent. I'm going to pull up this video because I'm sick of this argument. I'm sick of this manipulation from the corporate press. It is not correct. Let me see if I can find this video while we do this. And again, this is from CBS News. We have the full report here. Nicole Senga and Jennifer Jacobs reporting. This is not Breitbart. This is not the National Review. This is the mainstream corporate press, CBS, saying they've reached out to officials. They've gotten 3 independent confirmations. That's what old school journalism used to be. Used to be that we got confirmation that, let me see. I think I have the video here. Actually, whoa, where's the video at? This video should suffice either way. This is the original video. Let me show you this. And we're going to go slow here. Here's the incident in question. All right, watch. So you see, first, look at that front tire. Look at that front tire spinning on the ice. She's accelerating left. And because of the ice, the front tire on the front wheel drive vehicle spins out. He likely hears this. I can't read his mind. He doesn't know which direction the wheels are going. He just hears it. Then the vehicle hits him clearly. And you can see in this moment, let me, I wish I could pull up the slow-mo makes it easier to, you can see both his feet right here. Look at his feet. It's about 2 frames, but you can see his foot, this foot right here, sliding backwards. Okay, I don't want to rehash that whole thing I've done 800 million times, but he's being pushed backwards. Clearly he got hit. Now we have this. CBS reports the Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent who fatally shot Renee Good last week in Minneapolis suffered internal bleeding to the torso following the incident, according to 2 U.S. officials briefed on his medical condition. It was unclear how extensive the bleeding was. The Department of Homeland Security confirmed Ross's injury, but has not yet responded to CBS News' request for more information. This is 3 independent sources. They have 2 separate U.S. officials and DHS PR saying, yes, that's what happened. Here's what blows you want to know what blows my mind? These conspiracy theorists, these lunatic conspiracy theorists. They say video from the scene shows Ross walking away from the incident. Dude, you guys know this if you watch Timcast IRL. But just over a week ago, 2 of my crew were returning a rental vehicle. They got in an Uber. The Uber then, this is what I was told by my team. They said police told us this, so it's hearsay, but this is my understanding. The Uber driver exited the enter only into oncoming traffic and was hit by a bus, T-boned, and the vehicle flipped over. These are 2 of my friends, 2 people who work for this company. It's Mark and it's Kellen, and you know Kellen, you've seen him on the show. You've seen Mark in the Discord. Kellen was severely concussed and knocked out instantly. Mark, the same. He has skull fracture. He was coughing up blood. Let me show you this. Let me pull up this tweet. Onion person says, do you have any shame at all? Leslie Marshall says they would not have released him from the hospital if he was internally bleeding. He was released from the hospital very quickly. Sadly, we can't trust the reporting from your network any longer. They discharged both Kellen and Mark that day. We had Ian and the rest of the crew that visited him in the hospital quarantined because there was a very sick man in the hospital who had pneumonia. And we were concerned that any kind of infection that led to a serious pneumonia, we don't want to bring around the babies and around us. And so he said, just stay back for, a week or so until we know you're not sick. And Ian came back the other day and he seems to be fine. So I want to stress this. Internal bleeding because he was hit by a vehicle in a quick jerking motion, and they released him right away. Just like they released my friends, one of which had multiple skull fractures. Like, people live in fantasy land where they want to make up all these excuses. Guys, it's plain as day. Take a look at this from the Hill. ICE officer who shot Renee Good is in hiding. I think it's clear now. And I want to hear the argument from Jon Stewart and from Bill Maher. I'm a fan of Bill Maher. Still to this day, you're allowed to be a liberal. You're allowed to be wrong. I told him this, and he laughed. I said, I've been a big fan of his for a long time. Like, they're both big inspirations for me. And I went on a show, and it was awesome. It was a great experience. And I try to be respectful. He's got a big impact. He's got a massive audience and a very, very powerful political show. That's why everybody wants to be on it. And I said, I make tons of videos criticizing you. And he laughs. And I was like, because sometimes you're wrong. He's like, well, that was, that's okay, right? I say, that was always allowed. But he's like, yeah, you're allowed to think that. And that's why I like the guy. I do. He's been wrong on a lot of things, but man, has it really come around. So I want to hear what they think about this. I think Bill would be more pragmatic, especially after realizing he's been lied to quite a bit in the recent history. But I just saw this thing from Jon Stewart where he's like, the guy shot and killed her. It's like, okay, John, honest question. I really want to talk to this guy. I told my team, reach out. I want to talk to him, even in private. I just want to understand. I want to ask him, do you think the two separate U.S. officials in the Department of Homeland Security lied to CBS News and that CBS News should not have reported at all? Honest question. Next question. Should CBS News and any other outlet refuse to publish any report if it's coming from U.S. officials in the Trump administration and his DHS? Because the argument is this. Two separate individuals and the spokesperson for DHS all lied to push this narrative. And maybe they did, because the government sometimes lies. Actually, the government lies all the time. But the point is this. Occam's razor. I don't believe for a second that the DHS US officials got the hospital to lie, to publish false records. I think that if you're standing in front of a vehicle and it jerks forward and punches you in the gut, I think he got hit by it. Oh, that's the sound he made when he got hit. And it likely caused some internal damage. He got checked out and they said, you're probably going to be fine. You do have some bleeding. Not to air all of Mark's personal information, but I do think it's relevant. And I think it plays to the truth of the matter. Mark and Kellen, apparently they get flipped over in this car and they wake up in an ambulance. Confused about what's happening. Mark was throwing up blood with multiple skull fractures, and they discharged him that day because they're like, you're going to recover, you're banged up, but you will be okay. So we were like, no way, go to another hospital. He had a minor brain bleed, and they discharged him that day. It's pretty bad, but they said, you're going to be okay. Typical car accident injuries. So when they're saying it's fake, I don't believe it, there's no way he got hurt. Sounds to me like this just proved it. Homeboy got hurt. They're threatening his life. It's a messed up situation. I don't think he needed to shoot her. Shooting her is not going to stop the vehicle. I can make a whole bunch of moral arguments, but I understand why he did. And it's not because he hates her. Now, don't get me wrong. Emotions play a role. I'm willing to bet that this dude was like, I'm frustrated. I'm on edge. These people are violent. We've got terror attacks all day. And then he's walking in front of her car. He's at the right side of the front. He takes a step to his right as she reverses. They both line up. And I think neither of them intended for that to be the case. She accelerates forward. He freaks out. He gets hit. He shoots through the windshield. He shoots 2 more times to the side of the vehicle. I believe those are the shots that killed her. Dude just got hit and was suffering internal bleeding. Not that he knew that, but he knew he got hit. And so that's what he did. I wish it didn't happen. I seriously do. I don't like people making fun of Renee Good for dying. We don't want an escalation of the conflict. And I don't appreciate, even though I understand the difference between Charlie Kirk and Renee Good's death, that people are making memes and mocking her for being killed. It's stupid. It's stupid. And that's why I've defended the prominent Democrats who did not insult Charlie Kirk or celebrate his death. And I've condemned those who did. And I will say the same of the conservatives, people on the right. You can point out that she was accelerating and she hit the guy, but I don't think it's appropriate that people be posting memes making fun of her for dying. Jokes are jokes, okay? Some jokes are okay. We've made jokes about Charlie Kirk's death. We have. Michael Malice made some really funny ones, but we don't celebrate the death. And I don't celebrate the death of Renee Good either. I'm going to wrap it up there. Smash the like button, share the show. Stay tuned. More to come. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all in the next segment.